This topic is finding the total amount given the percentage of a partial amount. The first problem says an international company has 22,200 employees in one country. If this represents 16.6% of the company's employees, how many employees does it have in total? And we're going to round the answer to the nearest whole number. To solve a problem like this, we're going to set up a ratio. So we're going to say 22,200 employees is equal to the 16.6%, which I'm going to write as a decimal. 16.6% would be 16%, and then the the decimal part will go in the thousandths place. So this part right here goes to the hundredths place, and then this part goes to the thousandths place. Then over the 22,000, that's what we're looking for, our mystery number here, the total. But we know that that's 100%, which is equal to 1 whole. And now to solve, we can do cross multiplication. So we can multiply 22,200 times 1, which is of course 22,200, and that equals 0.166 times our mystery number, which I'm going to call x. And now to solve, because this right here really means 0.166 times x, to undo multiplying by something, we're going to divide. So we're going to divide by 0.166 on both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side to keep your equation balanced. And on the right side, when we divide 0.166 by itself, that becomes just 1 whole. So we'll have 22,200 divided by 0.166 equals x. And I would say this is a type of problem that I would use a calculator to do if I am given that opportunity. But since I don't have a calculator, I'm going to go ahead and show you how this would look. So we have 22,200, and we're dividing by 0.166, but we can't divide by a decimal like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 0.166 by 1, 2, 3 place values. So that means we're going to multiply it by 1,000. And then we're going to do the same thing to our dividend here. So we're also going to multiply this by 1,000. And notice that when we multiply this by 1,000 and then divide it by 1,000, that's really going to, times 1,000 and then divided by another 1,000, that's really 1 whole. So we're not changing our problem. So we need to now multiply this by 1,000. So we need 3 more zeros. And now we can divide this by 166. And this is some super fun long division. Not really. This is the type of long division you would not want to do. So 166 goes into 222 one time. This is again why I would recommend using a calculator on problems like this, because it's going to take you a while. And then we have 11 minus 6 is 5. Bring down our 0. And 166 goes into 560 maybe 3 times. 18 plus 1, 19, and that's 498, yes, 3 times. That's going to be 62, and then we're going to bring down this next 0. And I'm guessing it will still only go in 3 times, because that's going to be 122, and bring down the next 0, and now it's going to be a lot of times. So probably 7, let's guess. 42, 46, and that would be 111162. Yep, looks like it's going to be 7 times. More regrouping. You can see that this is just full of places that we can make errors here. 580, that's still going to be 3 times. 82, and one more. 166 times maybe 5 times. 33, 8. Oh, that's too many. So it's going to be 4 times. 166 times 4. 26, 4, 6, 64. And we do need to find out what our remainder is, because we run around this to the nearest whole number. So that's 5 and 1. So our remainder is 156 over 166. And this, you can tell right now that this is more than half. So we're definitely going to round up. So it looks like our answer, that the total number of employees in this huge company is 133,000, and the 734 is going to round up to 735 employees. Here is one more example, hopefully with not as much multiplication. It says, in a recent year, 48% of all college students were enrolled part-time. If 3.8 million college students were enrolled part-time that year, what was the total number of college students? So the 3.8 million, which I'm just going to leave as 3.8, is equal to 48%, which is 0.48 as a decimal. We don't know what this total is, but we know the total is one whole. Cross multiplication, 1 times 3.8 and x times 0.48. So we have 3.8 is equal to 0.48 times x. Just like before, we're going to divide by 0.48 on both sides. And we have x is equal to 3.8 divided by 0.48. This one has two digits that we're going to multiply by powers of 10 to get it to a whole number. And we're going to do the same thing to our dividend. So our dividend is going to shift over two place values, the decimal. So instead of it being right here, 3.8 like that, it's going to end up being 380 because it's now shifted over from right here, 1, 2 place values. It didn't really shift to the left. The number actually shifted to the, or it didn't really shift to the right. The number shifted to the left, which makes the decimal point appear to be shifting to the right. And then it'll be divided by 48. This one is not nearly as bad. 48 goes into 380. How many times? Let's do 50 times 5. 50 times, let's see. I'm just trying to estimate. Maybe 7 times. 56, 5. 28 and 5 is 33. I think that's probably going to be it. 7, 3, 36. 4, 4, yes. And we do need to keep going because we went around to the nearest million. And this is millions, so this is 7 point something million. Now, we don't really have to keep going actually right here because if we're rounding to the nearest million, this 44 over 48 is definitely more than half, so we're just going to end up rounding the whole number up to 8 million.